Hello, I'm Alex.
And I'm Mackenzie, and we're grade 10 students in the STEM program.
The goal is to look into how we use power and how we can generate clean energy. Some forms of power generation are more safe for the environment than others. For example, fossil fuels create greenhouse gases, and nuclear energy creates toxic waste. Some examples of clean renewable energy are wind power, tidal power, hydroelectric power, and solar power. We chose this topic because we were interested in how power is generated and how we can improve the environmental impact of generating electricity. Our bike generates electricity the same method that large-scale power generation uses, and is easy to scale up. We also learned about magnetic fields and electricity and how they interact with each other.
We decided to use magnetic induction to generate electricity because almost all power on the planet is generated that way. The reason it is so common is that it can turn movement into energy by spinning a turbine. Whether it is a water wheel with hydro and tidal power, a wind turbine with wind power, or heat boiling water to make steam that turns a turbine in the cases of coal and nuclear energy. Magnetic induction generates electricity by moving a coil around a magnet. When the magnetic field passes by the coil, electric current flows through the coil and can be collected at the ends of it. An electric motor works by electric current through the coil that pushes it away from the magnet in the motor, creating movement. Since motors have the exact parts in the right spots, they can be used for small DIY generators, but for large-scale industrial generation, the coil and magnets need to be a lot bigger to deal with the amount of force used and the amount of power that needs to be generated.
90% of BC's electricity is from hydropower, but that is not a reflection of the way that power is generated in the rest of the world. In 2020, 63% of the world's electricity was generated from fossil fuels, and the rest is made up of 10% nuclear power, 16% hydro, 5% wind, 2.7% solar, and 2.5 other renewable sources. The average Canadian household uses 11,135 kilowatt hours of electricity per year, and BC Hydro generates 43,000 gigawatt hours of electricity per year. Most of the world is trying to use less fossil fuels and going for green and renewable energy to try and help global warming and curb CO2 emissions. Our bike creates electricity using magnetic induction, but on a much smaller scale compared to industrial power production. Our generator is limited by the capabilities of the motor and the person biking. To show that our bike is generating electricity, we decided to use a 40-watt light bulb. At high pedaling speeds, our generator can produce 33 volts and 10 amps.
We succeeded in generating electricity that we could use to power a small device, and also learned that as the world expands and the need for energy grows, the need for more and more clean and reliable sources of energy does as well. Over the past decades, our main sources of power have been slowly transferred to more renewable sources. As we continue to consume more energy, we'll have to innovate the way that we use and generate energy. Over the course of our existence, we've found new ways to use our natural and finite resources for ourselves, but the reality is that they are exactly that, finite. This realization only hit us as the trend of using fossil fuels and coal to create energy had created too much momentum without a new way of generating electricity to challenge it. Doing projects like this and looking into energy and where it comes from really helps put perspective on how much energy we use and how much is available to us through clean and renewable sources. We believe that there can be a future with completely renewable energy. The advancements in how we create electricity are becoming more and more efficient and safer for our environment than fossil fuels. If we were to upscale this project, we would probably use a water wheel or wind turbine with a bigger motor and higher electricity output.
I can't do anything about it. Bro, I got it right that time. Yeah.